Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on BetCards. Another very beautiful Thursday morning. Once again, we're back with our predictions as usual. We always look at football matches that are going on across the globe, and we select a few of these matches and look into them before bringing it forward for you. Exactly what we're going to do today in a short while, all right? And also, always remember to join our VIP membership channel where we put out games that we believe have that likelihood of coming out correctly. All right, do endeavor to join our VIP special group. The link to that will be found in the description of this very video, as well as anywhere you see join or subscribe around this very video. All right, without further ado, we head to the business of today. And today, most of the matches are actually the Europa League, Conference League match, and as well as the Europa League. All right, so starting today's game is in the Europa League, where we have Europa League qualifying rather, where we have Utrecht coming up against Sheriff, and we know that in the recent the first leg of this very tie saw Utrecht beating this very side from away by 3 goals to 0 on that 3 goals to 1 on that very occasion. And even though we've seen even though we've seen Utrecht winning just 4 games from the last two home matches and also drawing 2 and losing 4. And also we saw Sheriff, their away side, doing very well from away, winning 7 games in the last 10 away games and drawing 2 and just losing once. But we know that in terms of quality, these two sides, are wide difference. Seeing Utrecht is actually much more quality side compared to Sheriff, their away side. So we still are going to see you know the home side Utrecht doing very well here. So we are going with the home side to achieve a result and win outrightly here. So we expect a home win in this very one. Home win, that's valid for that very encounter. All right. And the next we have for you is in the Europa League. Once again, we'll have CFR Cluj, the Romanian side, coming up against Lugano, which is the Swedish side, the Swedish side rather. And then when you look at the recent stats for these two sides, you can see that Cluj have won 2 matches out of the last 6 games. They've also had 3 draws as well as 1 loss. And the away side, on the other hand, Lugano winning just 1 and drawing 3, as well as losing 2 matches in the last 6 matches that they had. All right, the last meeting between the two sides, of course, we know this is the second leg. The last meeting between the two sides saw them playing out a 0-0 draw on that very occasion. And, when we take a look at how the two sides fared from home and away basis, you can see that Cluj have been actually quite good from home, being able to win 7 matches and drawing 2 games in the last 10 home matches that they had. They also lost 1. And for their away side, Lugano, it is 2 wins and a draw in the last 10 away games. They've actually lost 7 matches in the last 10 away matches that they had so far. That means that this is now side that does so very well from away, and today they play from away. So we are going with CFR Cluj, who was able to achieve a draw, in Switzerland. So we do expect that the home side, the Romania side, to either win or draw here, but we're going to see under 4.5. So we go for home win or draw and under 4. All right, that takes us to the next for today. Also, actually, this is actually in Europa Conference League. We'll have Dungannon Swift will be coming up against Vaduz. All right, when we look at the stats in recent times for these two sides, we could see that Dungannon Swift, the home side, have had 4 victories out of the last 6 matches. They've also lost 2 games out of those. And Vaduz, on the other hand, have managed just 1 victory and a draw, as well as losing 4 games in the last 6 matches that they have so far. All right, when you look at how the two teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side, Dungannon Swift, have actually won 5 matches and 2 draws in the last 10 home games. They've lost 3 matches out of those. And for their away side, Vaduz, it is 3 victories and 3 draws, as well as 4 losses in the last 10 away matches that they have so far. All right, and we could also see it for Dungannon Swift in the last home match that they had, saw them winning by 5 goals to 0 against the side in opponent, against Warren Port, right? And also we could see that most of the matches that they've been having from home have been resulting to loss of goals. We could see from the records here that it is 7 games out of the last 10 home matches that resulted to over 2.5. And when you look at their away side, Vaduz, also it is a very similar outcome. Also, noting the fact that actually 7 games rather in the last 10 away matches for Vaduz produced over 2.5. So even though the last meeting between two sides, which actually was the first leg of this very tie, saw them playing out a 0. Dungannon Swift won on that very occasion from away. So here, Vaduz have a lot of tasks on their hands. to overturn that one goal. So we do expect to see a lot of goals, to occur here, and we are going with an over 2.5, a minimum of 3 goals to occur in this very account, and over 2.5. That's what value for that very one. All right, despite the odds, that's what we go for. All right, when you look at the last game for today, it is also in the Europa Conference League, where we have Vikingur Reykjavik will be up against Skroda. All right, when you look at stats for these two sides, you can see that Reykjavik, the home side, in the last 6 matches, have been able to achieve 2 victories out of the last 6 games that they had so far. They also had 2 draws as well as 2 losses. And we side Skroda, winning 3 matches out of the last 6 games that they had. They've also been able to achieve a draw out of those, and they've lost 2 matches as well. And looking at how the two teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see that Vikingur Reykjavik, the Iceland side, have been doing so very well from home. They've actually been able to achieve 9 victories in the last 10 home games that they had. They've lost just 1 out of those, 10 home games that they had in recent times, and they've been scoring lots of goals. Almost all the 10 home games that they had produced over 2.5. There is 9 games out of 10 that saw over 2.5 for Vikingur Reykjavik, the home side. And for the away side, it is much more of a draw. 7 games out of the last 10 away matches that they had produced a draw, and they only had 1 win from away, as well as 2 losses. So it is 70% of a draw. Most of the away games that they had have actually turned out to be a draw, still met. And when you look at the last time meeting between the two sides, the last time both teams met, which was actually the first leg of this very tie, we saw Skroda winning on that very occasion, although they played from home, and they actually won that very tie by 2 goals to 1 against the Vikingur Reykjavik. And in this very one, the home side, Vikingur actually have a goal to overturn and I'll actually win in this very encounter. Also noting the fact that the away side also have been seeing lots of goals in recent times. The last 3 away games that they had have actually produced over 5.5 goals 2 times out of 3, and that will make us go with goals to occur here once again. So we're going to expect a lot of goals in this very one, and we're expecting to see a minimum of 3 goals in this very encounter, over 2.5. That's what for that very one. All right, and that concludes it for us today on Betcraft. We wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. Also remember to play responsibly at these football matches. Sometimes it may not be exactly what it presents. Remember, the remainder of these very tips will be on our VIP special group. Do endeavor to join so that you enjoy some of those aspects that we put out there. Hopefully we're going to do very well today. So tomorrow is another day. We'll be back with our predictions. Do not miss out on these very predictions. Until then, keep winning.